हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय चैनल द इनसाइड माइंड। चलिए आज हम पढ़ते हैं कि हम क्यों कंसल्ट करते हैं एक कॉग्निटिव साइकोलॉजिस्ट को। रीजंस टू कंसल्ट अ कॉग्निटिव साइकोलॉजिस्ट। वीडियो को एंड तक ज़रूर देखें और अगर आपको मेरी वीडियो पसंद आए तो इसको लाइक और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें। फर्स्ट इज एल्जाइमर्स डिजीज, डिमेंशिया और मेमोरी लॉस। सेकेंड, ब्रेन ट्रॉमा ट्रीटमेंट। थर्ड, cognitive therapy for a psychological illness. Fourth, interventions for learning disabilities. Fifth, perceptual or sensory issues. Sixth, therapy for a speech or language disorder. All these things are about when our brain does not work right. We don't usually think about them until something goes wrong. When our brain does not work right, it can be annoying or irritating, embarrassing, or even dangerous. But when these things happen, psychologists can learn a lot about how the mind works. They don't just want to know what happens, but also why and how we think. Incubation effect. The incubation effect is when you take a break from working on a problem or being creative, and then suddenly you came up with a solution or idea without even trying. It's like when you are stuck on a hard problem, but when you take a break and come back to it later, the solution pops into your head out of nowhere. Research methods in cognitive psychology. First is experiments on human behavior. This method is the easiest to understand. It involves doing experiments either in labs or in controlled conditions where we control as many things as we can to study data scientifically. In each experiment, we have what we change, the treatment, and what we measure, the outcome, while keeping everything else the same, which we call control variables. By looking at these variables, we figure out what causes the thing we are studying. To do this, we need to pick a group of people or things to study that's a good example of the whole population and choose them randomly. Second is psychological research. To help people feel better when they are struggling with their mind or body, we use a mix of methods like meditation and talking with a therapist. This is often used to help with different problems like feeling really sad or worried. For example, if someone is feeling really down, they might be told to sleep regularly, exercise, eat well, talk to a therapist, and sometimes take special medicines called antidepressants. Third is self reports, case studies, and naturalistic observation. Psychologists study how people think and focus on understanding the specific ways different people think. They do this by asking people questions about themselves, also called as self reports, looking closely at individual stories known as case studies, and watching how people behave in everyday situations, also called as naturalistic observation. Fourth is computer simulations and artificial intelligence. Computers have played a big part in the rise of cognitive psychology. Simulation is when computers are made to behave like a specific human function or process. Artificial intelligence. Cognitive psychologists use computer models of the human mind to understand how people think. They combine computer simulations and artificial intelligence methods to do this. They also get help from other branches of psychology like social psychology, engineering psychology, and motivation psychology. They study how people learn and use knowledge. Psychologists also try to figure out how and why people think the way they do, which helps them make educated guesses about behavior. Independent variable. The independent variable is the thing you change on purpose in an experiment. You control it. It's called independent because it does not rely on or get affected by anything else in the experiment. Sometimes people call it the control variable because you control it. but don't mix it up with a control variable, which is something you keep the same on purpose so it does not mess up the experiment's results. Dependent variable. A dependent variable is what you are measuring in an experiment. You are checking how it reacts when you change the independent variable. So, you can say it depends on the independent variable. Sometimes people call it the responding variable also. Thank you so much for watching my video.